What are the most undervalued crypto coins out there right now? What about 10 of the most undervalued crypto coins out right now? Is that something you want to hear about? Well, you came to the right place because I asked ChatGPT 5 AI, artificial intelligence, where should we be looking right now? And I'm going to break down what ChatGPT said, but also add some layers to this and add you guys a few more tokens and coins that I'm looking at right now in terms of undervaluedness right now as we sit in September 2025. Because here's the thing. Right now, as we gear up and get closer to Q4, I am personally looking to accumulate a little bit more. Now, most of my blue chip assets, I've built out my strong position in the bear markets, but I have a really strong feeling about quarter number four, and I want to deploy a little bit more capital that I have basically locked up right now in stable coins. So if you're looking to get some plays, looking to get some ideas, obviously not financial advice, but give you guys some things to think about. Make sure you guys stick around until the end of this video because you're going to get a ton of value. You're going to get a ton of insight. And if you want more value each and every week outside of the videos that I put out, obviously subscribe to the channel, hit this like button right here because I want a bunch of people to see this. But if you want even more value every single week for free, make sure you guys download my free newsletter right now. All right. There's a link at the top of the description. Get in this while you still can. Name and email is all we need. And you're going to be able to build much more wealth in crypto. I'm going to give you a ton of strategies, alpha, etc., things I'm looking at every single week, multiple times a week. All right. So I gave you two of the top 10 that are already listed by AI. All right. Cardano and XRP up there at the top of the list. But let's start right at the top, and that's Chainlink. And I love seeing this one right at the top of the list because this too is one of my top undervalued crypto coins out there right now. Why does Chainlink matter? It is the Oracle provider in DeFi, the biggest. Now, there is another one that I like. It's called Redstone. And if I hadn't mentioned this, get out your notebook because we're going to give you a ton of things to consider here in the video. All right. Get out your notebook and take notes. Chainlink and Redstone are the two top Oracle providers, in my opinion. Redstone is attached to tons of institutions. I mentioned that in my video yesterday. So stay locked in on Redstone as well. That's ticker red. But Chainlink is the clear winner here. And it's still trading well below its all-time high, despite foundational role. JP Morgan recently adopted Chainlink's cross-chain interoperability protocol, CCIP. Grayscale just filed for a Chainlink ETF. This thing is bound to do some great things into the future, and I still think it's severely undervalued. XRP Ripple, it's crazy to see XRP on this list, considering it's up over 450% in the last year. But it is real world use case, guys, and it is the era of institutional money pouring into crypto. I think it's heading in to XRP, other ISO compliant RWA protocols next. We've already seen capital and money flow into Bitcoin, into Ethereum. But I do think next up are some of these large companies that have been around for a really long time. And that kind of goes in perfectly with Cardano, right? Is the next one up. Talk about an asset that has been around since 2017. It's a research driven proof of stake infrastructure, huge growing ecosystem, severely undervalued still compared to where prices are right now. Love that the next one's on the list too, HBAR. Why does it matter? Well, we know what HBAR brings. Their hash graph technology, they got huge partners with, Google and IBM, solid fundamentals and utility, big RWA player, US based, ISO compliant. They're ready to go. HBAR on the list and should be. Now, Supra, I was surprised to see this one. I'm going to do some more due diligence on this, but Supra's on this list. Layer one focused on seamless cross-chain and automated DeFi. So that's kind of interesting. Supra is going to be one I'm going to look into. I'm going to mention a couple right now as we're kind of at the halfway point of what AI tells us. I'm going to mention a few to you right now. Look into Ethena, okay, ENA. Tons of institutional adoption happening. I mentioned Redstone. Look into Axelar, AXL, and I'll tell you another one I really like right now is SPX. That's the meme coin that just got listed on Coinbase. I know it's a meme coin, but I think it has the potential to be the dominating player here and could do some serious numbers. So Supra's on here. Arweave, this is the digital file storage space, right? digital storage space. It's like Filecoin, but kind of a new age Filecoin. It's permanent storage called Blockweave, backed by eco-friendly design. It's trading far below its all-time high. I like it. Then they mentioned Gala here in the gaming sector. Gaming focused token powering Web3 play to earn economies. I could see why they would list Gala here. You know, Gala was always a top 100 crypto, and it's barely hanging on to the top 100 right now. It's ranked number 97, is up 8% here in the last 7. Last month, we're still pretty flat, only up 2%. We're only down 5.8% the last year. It hasn't really done anything as of late. But if you zoom out to the all-time high, guys, we're down 98% from the all-time high at 83 cents. So this could be a huge winner if the whole gaming narrative comes back. So I actually like the call here, and I still have a little bit in Gala. I traded it back in 2021, but I'm in Superverse pretty big in the gaming side, also Big Time. Those are my 2 tokens that I really own right now on the gaming side of things. And I traded Altura, did a really good job on Altura, but I might get back into Gala, right? Then you got Zora. Zora is a creator-centric on-chain social platform built on Base. Never got into Zora, but it certainly grabbed a lot of attention. It's ranked number 200, sitting at 220 mil right now. It has come down about 54% down from its all-time high, but still has a lot of hype around it. Not so sure about this one just yet, but I do like the range that it's in and the attention that it's garnered since it's come out. Then they got RTX, DeFi and real world payments. Now I don't know much about this. Let's see here, RTX. Here it is. And this one's not even really tracked on here, but interesting, right? RTX, Remitix. So we'll see if this one could do some things as well. Not quite sure about that one that's listed there, but I want to give you guys a couple of my thoughts here in addition to what we've kind of already went over. So we mentioned Chainlink, Cardano, XRP, Ethereum. I think Ethereum's still undervalued here too. I know it's a large cap, but I think we're going to still see some really good numbers there. Solana's cooking, by the way. I like Stellar XLM. AVAX starting to wake up, guys. Avalanche looks really interesting here the last 7 days. Look at this big green candle we're witnessing. Now up 22% in the last month. Okay, all of a sudden, we're breaking out of a big pattern here in which AVAX has not seen these kind of numbers. You got to go back to late 2024. So Avalanche looking very, very good right now, starting to break out from its downtrend that we were in for a while, since March of this year. So I do think AVAX, which was last year's darling along with Solana, very undervalued right now. And I know it's a lot to think about and you can't buy everything, right? But hopefully you guys are taking some notes here and getting some value. Pepe, I think, will continue to be a top meme coin on Ethereum once ETH starts cooking. BitTensor, Tau, and Near Protocol, my top 2 AI plays. They're the top AI plays by market cap. I think Ondo Finance right here, severely undervalued still. Just crossed over $1, but I still think it's undervalued. If you get it under $1, I think it's a steal. Algorand down here at 24 cents. We've been hovering here for a while. VeChain at 2.5 cents. These are very interesting accumulation phases. I still own a bunch of Caspa. It's been quiet on that front, but I do like it under 10 cents. Bonk is one of my clear leaders on Solana with the meme coin side. Okay, Injective, interesting play here still at 14 bucks. Giving you a lot here, okay? Top undervalued plays. Rounding out the list, there's Gala down here. We mentioned that one. That was an AI pick. I'll stop there just because I gave you a lot. I mentioned SPX. I do really like SPX too, but I'll stop there, and hopefully you guys got some value. Sign up for the free newsletter. Make sure you guys are subscribed. This bull run feels like it's getting ready to kick off for the final leg, and I'm looking to try to reaccumulate. I mentioned a bunch of the assets I'm considering to add on to in my positions. Let me know your guys' thoughts down below in the comments. Where do you see the most value right now in crypto? What are your most undervalued crypto tokens out there? What are you buying? Want to hear from you guys in the comment section. Don't forget to subscribe. And again, get into that newsletter right now. It's totally free. We'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you guys so much for all your support and watching. We'll see you in the next video.